Hi, I'm Richard. I want to show you how to use a combination of our APIs to create an order ahead experience. Today, we're looking at how to use locations, customers, catalog, orders, and payments APIs for a restaurant to schedule pickup for a diner, and how a seller would see that scheduled pickup inside the Square Order Manager. Let's take a look at an example app. Here, we have a restaurant menu that is being pulled from our catalog using Catalog API. If we click on a menu item, we can see some detail, including a description and price for that item. I'm going to click Buy This. This page gathers fulfillment details for creating our order. We will set our fulfillment type here to Pickup. Now we can fill out our recipient details with who is going to pick up the order. Then we'll go ahead and click Continue to Payment. Here, we can just put in the test credit card details for the Square Sandbox. You can see we also have an option in this example for adding in a loyalty number, but since we don't have a loyalty account set up yet, we'll skip that part and just click on Pay with Card. Great, now we've created an order with a fulfillment and completed a payment referencing that order. We can now go into our Sandbox seller dashboard to inspect the order inside Order Manager. We can see that we have a new order here, so let's click on that to take a look. Order Manager has all the details of our order, and we can move the order through different stages of the fulfillment process by clicking on the button in the top right corner. Once it makes it through those stages, our order is complete. Let's quickly peek at the underlying APIs we just used. We pulled in our menu items using Catalog API and selected one. Then we created an order with a fulfillment and our selected menu item with Orders API. Next, we paid for the order with Payments API. Finally, we reviewed what we created in Order Manager. So now, let's take a look at these APIs in detail in the Square API Explorer. Okay, so the first page in our app shows the food menu for our restaurant. These menu items are being pulled in from our catalog. To populate them, we can use the Search Catalog Objects endpoint of the Catalog API. I'm going to filter our results here to only return catalog objects with an item type. So let's run the request, and we see that we get back the items we saw before, with the name, description, and pricing information. We're going to save the ID of this variation for the bacon cheeseburger. After clicking Buy This, we select the fulfillment type for our order. So let's go over to the Create Order endpoint of the Orders API. Before we can create an order, we need a few other pieces of information. First, let's generate our idempotency key here to ensure this order only gets created once. Then, we need to know which location this order is being created for. So we'll use the Locations API to grab our default location ID and just paste that into the Location ID field. This example app isn't showing it, but a good practice is to link customers to their orders with their customer ID. I'll just add in the first customer I return from the List Customers endpoint on the Customers API. Now, let's create our fulfillment object. First, we want to set this type of our fulfillment to Pickup. Then, we want to add in our pickup details and fill out our recipient fields. Here, we have the option of either just providing a customer ID, or we can put in the display name and either a phone number or email address. If we just provide the customer ID, it will populate those other fields for us. There are a lot of other fields you can use for your specific use case, but the last field that we are required to provide for a pickup fulfillment is the pickup at time. To make things simple for this example, we'll put a truncated date, but typically you should provide as much precision as possible for the exact time. Now, let's add a line item for our bacon cheeseburger. We'll set the quantity to 1, and then paste in the catalog item variation ID that we got from earlier in the catalog object ID field. Now, we have everything for creating our order, so let's try running the request. We get back our order, and we see that it has a fulfillment on it with a status of proposed. We'll want to hold on to the order ID and the total money amount, since we need these to create a payment for it to show up in the Order Manager dashboard. Let's go to the Create Payments endpoint of the Payments API. First, let's fill in the amount money from our order. This needs to match total money that is on our order so that the order will be fully paid for. Then, we want to generate our idempotency key and then our source ID. For our example app, we are generating a nonce using the payment form. But since we're in API Explorer and using Sandbox, we can just use one of the provided test values for a nonce. Next, let's put in the customer ID one more time to link this payment to that customer. Finally, let's paste in our order ID to the Order ID field. Now we can run the request. Great! We see that the payment has gone through, so let's go check our Sandbox seller dashboard to see if our new order shows up in Order Manager. We see that we have a new order here for our bacon cheeseburger, and our customer information is populated in both the order details and pickup details. We'll just move this order through the fulfillment process by clicking on the button in the top right corner. Our order is now completed and we're all done. Today, we created an order ahead experience for customers at a hypothetical restaurant using Square APIs. Restaurant employees can then use Order Manager to track and administer these orders throughout fulfillment. Next, we could add support for customer IDs and wire up Loyalty API for integration with a customer loyalty program. We could also add things like tips for drivers and variants for menu items. There are also a number of other Square APIs we could integrate to run our business, but that's all for today. Check out the API Explorer to go through these examples yourself and have it generate the corresponding code in your SDK language of choice to get started. Happy coding!